So tell me a little bit about yourself and why you've decided to seek counseling.
Hi, I'm Jason V. Well, I drowned as a boy, but I had a weird head, and people were not happy with it, so they kind of just ignored me. And my mom went around and killed all the people at this camp because they were having sex instead of watching me swim.
It's because of the alcoholism. I was 7 years old in the institute, and he offered me a tall glass, a 3-fingered scotch, and I said nothing, because I don't usually talk. But
the name's Freddy. I'm a minor attracted person. I've been killing kids since the 80s. There was some sexual stuff involved, but we removed that because of the censors.
I know it's usually difficult to talk about trauma, but I imagine it's not too difficult for someone like you. Is there a particularly painful event that you recall?
So about 25 years ago, I was set on fire by a group of adults, and now I see that minor attracted people are celebrated. They get their own month. It's kind of unfair, you know. I feel I was a trailblazer.
It's not fun to drown, because you're out there like, I'm swimming, look how far I'm going, and then you realize no one's even looking at you because they're having sex in a tent, and the next thing you know, just you're swallowing water. You're looking at fish like, well, hey, fishy, I'm gonna live down here now with my body.
The rejection I felt from my neighbors, as well as the adults that set me ablaze, those are inner scars that I'll never be able to deal with.
Interesting.
I had one campers, I opened up the tent, it was 4 men, just human centipeding each other, and I was like, what do I do here? And then they saw me, and I was so confused that those 4 naked men beat me quite severely, and it just has taken all the fun out of it.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, times have changed. I imagine that's affected your work in a negative way.
I don't see women as freely pulling out their titties anymore. In the 80s, they always pulled out their titties. And now I'm like, where are all the titties? Where are all the titties in the tents?
people keep asking me to say their pronouns, and I don't understand how to deal with that. I just want to kill people. I've embodied my sister in a way. I feel like now I may be also my sister. I am too a transgender.
I feel like you're just saying that.
I am. I am. I'm just really scared of being canceled for hate speech. Can I kill one of you?
So I was in a transgender's dream, and I don't quite know how I'm supposed to scare one of those kinds, or do we call them kinds? I don't know. But anyways, I mean, when you're in there and they're like, hey, cut my balls, and it's like, hey, I got these big giant knives on my hands, and they're wanting. So I give it to them.
It's weird because in the 80s, the boobs look different. Like if you watch 80s movies, you're like, why do boobs look so different? So now men have boobs. I killed a woman and it turned out to be a man, and that was like the movie Sleepaway Camp. That was the twist at the end. But now it's like, oh cool, you got a dick? Come to camp. We can all be girls. And I'm like, what the fudge? I don't want to swear. I am religious.
Mainly I go after virgins, but those are really hard to come by now. So it's hard to tell which one is a virgin. Usually they'll dress, like a virgin. You know what a virgin looks like.
I see.
And there's just none of those anymore. It's just they're all having sex with each other.
It kind of ruins the fun, I like the chase. I cut off this guy's penis and he tipped me. And then he got my Uber ride home.
I got body enhancements in Jason X, and when I got them, I was like, what in the world? I felt like somebody totally different. But it wasn't me. It was not empowering. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to do this again. I mean, it felt good to kill people, but I didn't feel like me anymore. And I think a lot of kids gotta worry about that now. You want to cut off your genitals, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do when you're like, do it? And I'm like, what do you mean do it?
But now it's totally acceptable, and it's weird how some parents want me in their dreams, you know, but now they're bringing the paddles and the S&M stuff, you know.
I'm sorry to hear that. A lot of people kill because they're inspired by an event or a person, either their negligence or their vigilance. Do you think that's true of you?
OJ. You know, the knife. I'm a fan of the big kitchen knives, and he definitely was a master.
You know he got off on those charges, right?
I mean, we know. We all know here. We know a master when we see him.
What's odd is how they kept keeping the camp open. I murdered a lot of people, and the camp was still open every year. I was like, you guys even think? I mean, I'm gonna murder them if they're there, but close the camp? You know what I mean? It's like if the Holocaust camp was still open, which I don't find funny. I've read a lot about Hitler. That was too many. I think that was too many people to kill. You know, that's a lot. 6 million? I was like, okay, Hitler, that's a bit much. You need to talk to somebody, maybe find a little bit of Jesus in your life.
What are your aspirations?
Nobody really ever asks me what I dream about. To tell you, I dream about hope and change, ending racism, and murdering children regardless of skin color.
Do you have any regrets from all the time you spent killing?
You know, I've killed a lot of kids and sucked them into plenty of beds, and I have a lot of viruses now. A lot of this took place in the 80s, and we weren't concerned about AIDS, and there was a scare and all that kind of stuff, but it kind of went over my head, and their blood went into my cuts and my face, and that wasn't really very good.
I kept my mom's head so long because it was pretty. She was the only woman that ever loved me, so I was like, hey, maybe I just carry around my mom's head. And I saw the movie Psycho, and he kept his mom there too. Sometimes you just want a little bit of your mom with you. Sometimes I wear her dresses, but I don't do it when people is around, but I probably should because they'd like me more now.
That's a big snafu. I can't legally even talk about the third Halloween. There was a thing in the contract. I asked for more money, and they didn't want to give it to me. And I said, I am Halloween. And they said, no, you're Michael Myers. And I said, okay. Well, then, you know. So I walked away. I can't get into it too much more than this.
These are silly 90s AIDS lesions that, just droplets of AIDS blood went into my open wounds. It's bad now. Alright. Well, is there anything else?
Tell me about the fluids.
Now there's monkeypox. If you thought my face looked bad, let me show you this.
You ever kiss your mom's severed head? It's fun. It makes me tickle in my pants bottom. When I tongue it. When I tongue my mom's dead head, I'm like, Mama, you like that? You like that? And I'll do her voice and I'll be like, I love it, Jason. I love when you kiss me. I'm like, yeah, Mama, you liked it a lot. I'm gonna turn you around, Mama. And then I put my dick in the couch cushions and I pretend I'm butt f***ing my mom with her severed head. And I'm like, yeah, this feels so good, feels so right. I wish my mom was alive tonight. Yeah. You ever do that? Just f*** the couch holding your mom's dead head? Oh, it feels good.
You're not alone. I think a lot of people have had that same experience.